If you want to absolutely rake in MLB The Show 25, then this is the perfect video for you because I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about hitting. I don't care if you've never played a baseball game before in your entire life, or you've played every single MLB The Show since World War II. I guarantee if you use these tips, you will get better. And you can go from striking out on veteran to pulling inside fastballs on legend. The first tip is your setup and your settings. And there's two things in my opinion that are non-negotiables. And that's your control freaks and your precision rings. But this is your control freak and then this is your precision ring. You're gonna need both of these so that you can be more precise in your movements and stop slamming like this. Every elite player, everybody in the top 50 uses these. So I would just go on Amazon and go cop some. They're like 15 bucks. The next thing that I personally use is a wired controller instead of a wireless one. It's kind of a personal preference thing. For some, I feel like there's something really weird with wireless controllers when it comes to like the dead zone. And also I felt like the wireless controllers are just more responsive overall. So that's why I recommend a wireless controller. And the last thing that I recommend, if you don't already have one, is a monitor. Monitors have much better response time. They have like 0 input lag, whereas a big TV like this one behind me is gonna have just a little bit of lag, so that when you're trying to catch up to a fastball, it's gonna make all the difference. Now we're just gonna change a few things in settings. There's only 2 things that we're gonna change, and the first is your PCI. Now, first and foremost, your PCI is completely preference. It's completely up to you. This is just what works for me the best. I use bat PCI. The bat PCI stays the same size no matter what difficulty you're playing on. Unlike circles or diamonds where your PCI will get bigger or smaller depending on the difficulty, if you use the bat PCI, it will always stay the same. And I also don't use an inner or outer because if there's too much going on with your PCI, then it's gonna distract you from actually being able to see the ball. Again, it's up to you, play around with it. This is just what I do. And then the other thing is gonna be your hitting view, but again, they already have it set to strike zone. The only 2 hitting views that I would recommend are either strike zone or strike zone high. I mean, maybe you can try 2 or 3, but if you use anything else, you're a psychopath. This year, they've also added something new called ambush hitting, but we're just gonna keep that off for now because I want you guys to learn the basics of hitting before you try and mess with any of this new stuff. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's hop into custom practice and get some reps in. So now we're in custom practice and it doesn't really matter who you have on the mound. I would just recommend that you choose somebody who's a 5-pitch pitcher. And we're just gonna start with the righty to do a righty-righty matchup. Altuve is too short though. Okay, Judge is way too tall. Okay, Vladdy Jr., there we go. And we're just gonna start with all fastballs in the zone. So turn all of those off and make sure the frequency is, just do that. And then make sure location is just all the zones in the strike zone. If you're someone who plays on veteran, then set it to all-star. If you're someone who plays on all-star, then set it to Hall of Fame. You don't want to try and jump from veteran to legend because it's just too much. Not to toot my own horn, but I am accustomed to playing on legend, kind of. So if I was warming up, I'd probably set it to go difficulty. We're not gonna do that right now because this is a tutorial. So the reason that I'm saying to start righty-righty is because same side matchups are harder than crossplay matchups, with lefty-lefty being the hardest for most people. So, and that's because of timing, right? So if you have same side and they throw a fastball inside, you're gonna have to swing way earlier than if they throw it outside. So let's get into the approach, shall we? There's 2 ways to hit, okay? The first is guess pitch, all right? You can try and pick up on their sequences and their tendencies. The only pitches that I really sit on are sinker inside or cutter outside. Ooh, wait. Nah, this game feels smooth, bro. The other approach that you can have is to just purely react. This can work until you get on legend or this year GOAT. Unless you're your friend Kyle off of toxic butane, then maybe you can react on legend and GOAT. But most people, most regular human beings cannot do that. That's why I like to personally try and, ooh, what a swing. Be ready for a pitch that I think they might throw, but I don't ever really fully commit because I still like to be able to adjust if I have to. Now, as far as your PCI goes, there's also 2 ways that I see most people do it. The first way is to try and track. And see right there, I absolutely suck at it. Every time I try to track, I just slam the ball so bad. but I know that this works for some people. Little man, he is incredible at it. I don't understand how he's so good at it. But the other way to do it is to just stay neutral, which just means that your PCI just stays in the middle like it is right now, and then you just react. But yeah, this is what works for best for me and what I would recommend. Because, okay, wow, voice crack. But if a fastball comes or anything comes towards the middle of the zone and you're trying to track it, you're probably gonna slam like that. It's really hard to have your analog already loaded and then just try and take all the pressure off of your analog and hit a fastball down the middle. That's why I recommend neutral, but again, completely up to you. Now, the other factor when it comes to hitting is discipline. If you go swinging at almost every pitch, you're almost always gonna get taken advantage of for it. Like, I'm serious, none of what I have already told you is gonna help you at all if you just go swinging away at every pitch. It's very easy to get in a bad rhythm if you just try and swing at everything. Like, swinger fatigue is a real thing. So all I'll say is, if you do find yourself in a situation where you're swinging at the first pitch 5 or 6 times in a row, just take a few pitches, man. Once you start looking for your pitch and not just purely trying to hit every ball that comes out of the pitcher's hand, you will take better swings. All right, now let's talk about why I actually wanted you guys to do fastballs all in the zone, right? It's because nothing else really matters if you can't hit the fastball in this game. I'm sitting fast 90% of the time or more, because you can adjust to a fastball from an off speed, but you can't adjust from a changeup to a heater. That's why you need to learn to hit fastballs in the zone before you do anything else. I think we're ready to move on to the next step. All right, now let's talk about sinker cutter. This is the deadliest duo in the game. Year in and year out, like every year I've played, this is the hardest combination to hit. So first, let's just do the sinker, okay? When you're doing righty-righty, you're gonna get sinkers in these 3 spots a ridiculous amount of the time. You'll also get them out here. So you're gonna need to be able to distinguish a sinker that's coming inside the zone and inside for a ball. Honestly, I would spend a lot of time on this pitch right here because this is the hardest pitch in the game for a lot of people to hit.
Perfect.
See, when you're sitting on it and you can start recognizing the path of the ball when they throw inside cutters, you're gonna crush it every time. For like how much earlier you have to swing on these sinkers or anything inside versus outside. Like, the timing window is so different. Okay, now we have it set to cutter outside. This is also a disgusting pitch, man. Especially with how slow Ohtani throws his cutter. The reason cutters are so good, it forces people to swing early so much. Like, even the top players will do it. Like, that pitch right there is one of the best pitches in the game. See, like, I can't even take a good swing on it in practice. Finally, if you can hit those 3 pitches, you're gonna be money, okay? Now, Ohtani's off-speed pitches are the sweeper and the splitter. I really wouldn't worry too much about off-speeds. Just go ahead and set them to down here because that's where most people throw them. Majority of the time, people will throw breaking balls 4 balls. Like that right there. You're gonna see that so much. And the first year that I played, I chased that pitch way too much. So it's an easy fix though. All you have to do, and that's a dot, bro. Don't worry about that one. All you have to do is keep your eyes set high. That way, because again, a lot of people throw fastballs higher in the zone too. Like, what's a pitch that a lot of beginners cannot hit? This high and tight fastball, right? So if you keep your eyes set up here, you're gonna be able to recognize the breaking ball a lot faster, and you're gonna be able to lay off it a lot better. Goodbye. I think, right? Whatever. Once you feel like you can start hitting all the different pitches consistently, recognizing them from one another, then you could start messing with like lefty-lefty or lefty-righty or righty-lefty. I mean, guys, theoretically, if you practice everything, you're gonna be able to hit everything, because if you've seen everything 1,000 times, you know, it's gonna be nothing new to you and you'll be able to time everything. Guys, at the end of the day, the best tip that I can give you is to just play the game. Go and grind online ranked seasons. Like, seriously, don't care about your record at all. Just go in the game and get better and have fun while you're doing it. The first year that I played this game, which was 22, I was ass, okay? And well, I was also playing on a TV and I didn't have any of the stuff that I told you guys to get. but I raged, like, because I could not catch up to the fastball. I couldn't hit anything. That was also before I knew about custom practice. But once I stopped taking my record so seriously and just grinded the game and had fun, I got so much better. So honestly, just take it day by day and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. Be sure to comment if you have any questions, and be sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications if you did enjoy the video. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.